Page 20, Soldier's March, a very famous piece by Robert Schumann. You'll find a number of recordings on this. Just search on Soldier's March, Robert Schumann, something. But let's talk about it. This is another piece you can play for people if you want to hear something. Very famous melody. I'm going to go through the process I typically go through. I look it over, I see it's a page long. Although part of it is repeated, so it's longer than that, but I only have a page of music to learn, and that's what I'm after. One sharp in the key signature, so it's either in G major or E minor. If we look at the end, it ends on a G chord. I'm guessing we're in G major. Do the scales and arpeggios for both, though, G major and E minor. At least one octave. Learn the scale. Now, if you're comfortable with the scale and the arpeggio, then you can go 2 octaves, if you're comfortable with it. And 2/4 time signature. What's march? We want to feel this 1, 2, 1. Marches typically are written in 2/4 or 4/4 or cut time or common time or maybe 6/8 time, because 6/8 time can be felt in 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay, a lot of marches written in 6/8 time. You think they're playing triplets, so they're not. It's in 6/8 time. Right hand first. Again, the fingering and rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. It's just the first note is on 1 and the 8th note is on 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then just a dotted rhythm. There. And a 1, 3, because I want to connect it. And then 5. I like this fingering very much in measures 3 and 4. 2, 5, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. This keeps the hand out here. You're not up here. And I can connect all this if I wanted to. I could connect that in some pieces you want to. Here you got rest, you're lifting up, but I still want the fingering that lets me connect it. And then I do it again. Come up. Here on measure 7, I would do a 1, 4, 2, 3. So I don't do a 2, 4 and then a 2, 3 again. A 1, 4. Come down and do it again. And then again in measure 15, 1, 4. Here. However, when I go from measure 16 to 17, here, I don't want to use thumb for both. No. So I need a different finger on measure 16. So I got to change it because I want some other finger that lets me get down here more easily. I don't want to go. I can. Sometimes you have to, but we don't have to here. We can figure something else out. So what I'm going to do is measures 15, 1, 4 here, and then here instead of a 1, I'm just going to come down and use a 5. I got to rest. Here, I just move it a little bit. This way I'm in position to go down. I don't have to move as far. I'm moving from here to here, and I stretch out and I'm there. I don't have to go from here to here. So in measure 16, I'm going to use the 5th finger on that last note, not a thumb. This way I can go on. And this is connected. There's no rest here. And then a 2, 5, and then a 1, 5. So here, if you can, you don't keep all of these down at once. You can come up a little bit. But if you can, do that. In measure 23, it's same as we did before with a 1, 4, not 2, 4. They do a 1, 4 in the next measure, so you do 1, 4 there too. That must be an error. It needs to be 1, 4 there in measure 16, or excuse me, in measure 23. Here. You do like you were at the end. Now the last 2 measures, you're here, then you have to come up, 1 here and here. That's okay. And then at the end, when you repeat, you got to come back down here. Well, you get rest. You got time to come down. You get a whole beat rest, 1.5 beats actually. So you got time. That's okay. Left hand, what's it up to? Same rhythm as the rides here. 2, 2, 3, measure 4, and then here, and 3. Let's go. Now you measure 8, you get treble clef. Here, up here. 1 measure. This way they don't have to have a bunch of ledger lines. And then back down to bass clef. measure 19. They give you a natural sign. You don't need a natural sign. I don't know why they're giving you a natural sign. There's no point. It's a natural anyway. Just, I don't know. Measure 23 and 24. I'm doing a 4, 5, 3, 1, 3. Like that. I'm kind of staying spread out. Now, in the last measure, I don't recommend fourth finger. We got to move the right hand down. I don't want to have to move both hands down if I can help it. So I want a different finger because if I repeat, I got to be here. I want a finger that lets me get from here to here more easily. I don't want to use fourth on both because I'm busy with the right hand. So it's here. I don't want to come down here, both hands. So with here, I'm going to use a 2. This way I can reach it. I can just reach down a little bit. So at the end, the last 2 measures, just a 2, just stretch out. And then when you repeat, back to the reverse repeat sign, yeah, you're there. Now the second time you play it and you're done, you can use fourth if you want because it doesn't matter, you're done. Or you can use 2 again if you want to keep the same fingering. Then once I have an idea of the fingering and the rhythm, how things are working each hand, I'll put them together. Now rhythm-wise, the same rhythm. It's and I'll work out all that just real slow because you're using different fingers. Make sure you play in the rest. Here, 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 and here. I'll work all of that out and then go do that to the rest of it. And once I have the hands worked out together, then I'll go back over it, maybe 4 measures or so at a time, because I think that's a phrase. I work out any hesitations. Now, once you have the hesitations worked out, don't keep playing that part. Go work on the stuff that you're hesitating on, the hard part. Get that ironed out. And once I have the hesitations gone, and remember we're still playing this really, really slow. I go too fast in the videos because it will shorten the video. You go really slow. Use a metronome if you have to. It's all right. Then I add the articulation. Here, you're pretty much just playing it because the rests give you the staccatos. It would be like all these eighth rest, or eighth note, eighth rest, eighth note, eighth rest. They could put that in as quarter notes and put a staccato in there, or maybe a staccato on a line. That's a long staccato. But if they put staccatos by themselves, you'd play them short, even as quarter notes. He didn't want them short. They're eighth notes. Eighth notes. Now, after the reverse repeat sign, this is around measure 17, 18 or so here. It's contrast. Here we do want it connected and smooth here. And then separated, connected, and separated. And then like you were at the beginning. Yeah. At the end, it's connected. Except the last 2 beats. Last 2 notes. Last 2 something. Oh. Then the dynamics. It applies to the melody, which is the right hand. This left hand needs to be in the background. They give you another loud for measure, 17 or so, after the reverse repeat sign, and the question is why? You're already loud. The whole thing is loud, according to this part. I don't like it when it's all the same. I like to have it getting up a little louder and a little louder. So on these, it might come down a little bit on them and then take off again. Something like that is interpretation. That they give you a loud on measure 17 because first off, it's a different section. It needs its own dynamic. The first section, section A, is the first part, and then in measure 17 you start a new, it's a different melody. So it's section B. They give it its own dynamic. Also, there's a chance in interpreting it, you may have gotten a little louder and softer. And when you start measure 17, they're telling you make sure you're loud here. Start this loud. So just do it. Well, the speed they give is in German again. I don't speak German. It's something about cheerful, and it's a happy march, but it's a march. You got to be right on the money with it. Left, right, left, right. Left, right, left, right. It doesn't have to be fast. I can slow it down. Left, right, left. Just a steady march all the way through. Yeah. You don't even slow down at the end. You just keep going until it's over. As I said, I'm not going to play this because there's lots of recordings of this. You can go find a number. Listen to several people play it. Don't just listen to one or two, because they will interpret it differently. And that's what you're after. How are you interpreting? They're all reading the same music, but yet it's played differently. How is that? Usually, it's not necessarily the same music once an editor gets a hold of it, but typically you would hope it would be about the same music.